Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Human Bacon Podcast. This is episode 9.
Yeah, it is 9.
It is 9. On YouTube, it will say 7 and then 9. But it's because number 8 wouldn't upload.
Yeah, we did a New Year's 2020 recap, and a solid, same amount of time. Everything was the same. I don't know why, but for some reason, it just won't upload onto YouTube.
It was a great fucking podcast.
And we've tried a lot. So if anyone's like, well, you need to do this. No, we spent a lot of time trying to figure out why it wouldn't upload.
Yeah,
it still just won't upload.
It's stuck at processing 99.
Yep. So, hey, at the same time, if you do know, put in the comment.
Yeah.
Something we should try to get number 8 up.
We would love that because we did nothing differently as uploading goes, but it's just...
And it was a good one. It was 2020 recap,
Yeah.
That was a solid podcast.
I loved it. It was great. It was fucking... It was the bee's knees, man. But, like, YouTube, it won't upload.
It just won't upload. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's a processing 99, and we've tried different formats, all this stuff. We can't figure it out.
We don't know what's going on. But this is still episode 9 because we did do a solid hour once. Yeah. Just because it didn't get uploaded didn't mean it didn't happen. So episode 8 is going to be revealed 20 years from now when we're retiring.
Yes.
We'll finally put it up.
Most likely. But
we're here. Episode 9.
Episode 9. Let's just start it off. Let's start talking about Cobra Kai a little bit.
Ooh, I don't know if anybody out there else is watching Cobra Kai, but it is amazing.
It's a fucking good show, man.
And you don't even really have to know that much about the Karate Kid, because they kind of explain going through the show who they are and what happened.
How many original Karate Kids were there? I have no idea.
There was, I believe, 3 with Ralph, but then they made one after with Jennifer Gardner.
Oh.
She was a Karate Kid, and then they did one with 3 little kids. And I think it was called 3 Ninjas or something like that. I don't know if it was still called Karate Kid. But, yeah, I know they did. But I think I think he got a little older.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Ralph's, that's the main character's name.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Daniel-san.
Daniel-san.
Yes.
Daniel-san. And
Johnny Lawrence.
So we have Miyagi-Do, right, which is the wax on, wax off. We have Cobra Kai, which is the let's kill
strike
everything.
First, strike hard,
yes,
no mercy.
Exactly. And then we have a new clan that has entered from Mr. Johnny in the TV series called Eagle Fang.
Eagle Fang. This is the end of it, so sorry guys if we spoiled stuff, but
it's okay.
I don't really give a shit. It ends with Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang now joining up against Cobra Kai.
Yeah, you don't even know who Eagle Fang is right now, so you're just confused. And
the first season though is so good how it just shows you Johnny just being this shitty hard time having dude, and now he's like gonna reopen Cobra Kai and he's got one pupil, Miguel.
Yeah.
Who just is this nerdy kid with braces, kind of string bean.
In real life, that kid's like a fucking crazy mixed martial artist.
Is he? Does he actually?
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell just by the way he's kicking and shit. Like, he's been trained.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But you just see him at first, and you're like, this is just some scrawny, braces, kind of tall kid, whatever.
Exactly. Well, that's why they've been fucking put him in that role, because they're like, at first glance...
And he's just like a soft-spoken, kind of whatever kid. Obviously, Cobra Kai is in your face, punch you in the face first, do everything. So it's cool to see him kind of form into a Cobra Kai.
It was cool seeing Johnny take Cobra Kai in a better direction.
Like, it was still hardcore, but it wasn't like
it was
douchebags.
It was still like life is gonna hit you hard, and we're teaching you how to handle that. But it's
still about showmanship.
It's still about that everyone stuff. Gets a trophy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. This isn't all let's be friends and everything will work out.
But Miyagi-Do,
it was the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite, and I mean. What's good about that is not everyone gets a trophy there either. It's like you gotta work for what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's in a different way.
It's funny because Cobra Kai will train you. He'll show you straight up karate, punching people in the first day. The first day at Miyagi-Do, he wants you to paint fences and do this stuff, and you're like those 2 kids who showed up were pretty funny. We're like, dude, this is just labor.
We ain't doing
chores. You just want us to come over here and do chores? Like, that's why it's free.
Because at first glance, that's what it is.
That is what it is.
Going over there for chores.
Chores. That's all.
That's fucking hilarious.
But Cobra Kai is they got a wooden plank. It's punch this thing until your hand bleeds. At least you're at least I'm punching something.
You said you ordered Cobra Kai.
I got an Eagle Fang.
Oh, you got an Eagle Fang one.
Eagle Fang hoodie, yes, because I wanted a Cobra Kai one, but just how it ended.
Yeah.
They're kind of the bad guys again.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's like getting like the dodgeball movie, getting like the
yeah, I forget
purple
the
cobra.
purple cobras. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
like,
Instead of the average Joe. Yeah, I have a couple average Joe shirts.
that's who doesn't love dodgeball? It's one of the fucking
Yeah.
greatest movies ever. But the first season for Cobra Kai is them leading up to the West Valley tournament, the under 18 tournament. So it's of Johnny's training Miguel, but Johnny has a son who's of course a rebel, young kid who hates his dad, and his mom's a big mess, so he lives at home and he has a whole messed up home life. And then he's doing bad stuff like robbing people. I should say, I don't think it's bad, but yeah, you shouldn't be robbing people. Yeah, bad, bad. Either way,
most of the time it's bad.
he ends up at Miyagi-Do because he works with Daniel-san. He works with LaRusso at the car dealership, and then LaRusso kind of takes him under, but he doesn't know he's Johnny's son. So he's showing him all this stuff of how to train and how to fight and do all that. But he's learning a completely different way than what his dad is teaching. So of course, inevitably in the end, Miguel meets up. I forgot his son's name. I can't believe I just forgot his son's name, but it's him and Miguel against each other. And it's awesome because they show like the old Cobra Kai clips where it's like he's weak, or I know like his weak spot.
The fight is exactly how it happens in the original Karate Kid.
Yeah,
like that's exactly
same
how
point
it
system,
happens.
but he wins.
Yeah, but Miguel wins under Johnny instead of
hardcore. Miguel's face during that was like intense, where he was like, "Whoa!" Like, "Sa!" And you're like, "Oh man, this kid's like not playing." Like he was grunting.
Yeah. He was like, "I know his weakness.
I know his weakness, Sensei." So anytime Johnny Lawrence goes, "Quiet," I love it so much. I do it to my dog now when she does, "Quiet," and she just walks by me. Shut up.
I'm already being quiet, human.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I can't speak.
I'm a dog. Jesus.
That's how the first season. I mean, we're just doing quick synopsis, not getting too deep into character development or whatever.
Just brief recaps. It's fun, cool.
Yep. And then the second one steps it up a little bit because Johnny and his son are kind of having a better relationship, but not really. So everyone's stepping up their training, and then Cobra Kai gets just sick. They get everybody, and they get really cool. And then Miyagi-Do is trying to like get new recruits, so they try to do this whole thing at a fair. And then Cobra Kai just comes up and does this badass like fireworks display, and everyone punching boards and breaking boards, doing flips and stuff like that or whatever. So then they get more people recruited to Cobra Kai. But then they got, what was his name? Was it Reese?
Yeah, Reese.
Reese shows up, who was the original sensei of Cobra Kai from back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So he's back, essentially just tricking Johnny. You can tell he's just fucking with Johnny because he's trying to get Cobra Kai back. So he gives this whole sad story. He doesn't have a house till, he finds him in like a homeless shelter or something. So he has Reese there helping him train, but Reese is being a little hard. He's training the kids a little harder.
Yeah. Well, he's doing the original Cobra Kai way,
original,
where it's like literally no mercy for the students,
And then Johnny goes away for. I know Reese takes over for a little bit.
Well, yeah, Reese steals his dojo because Johnny. It's funny with Johnny too, because Johnny is like this dude who knows nothing about signing contracts or the internet or anything.
Yeah. Oh, when he first gets a laptop.
Yeah, he's just completely illiterate to any technology.
He's still in the 80s. He's literally still living in the 80s. He's still listening to cassettes, driving his old.
That's a good way to describe it, yeah, because like, he's living in the 80s. He still doesn't know technology at all.
Yeah.
And the first time he discovers the internet, he just types in hot babes on Google.
Hot babes.
And then his jaw just drops.
When he has a smartphone, he calls it a smartphone. He tells everyone, "Yeah, I use my Facebook app on my smartphone." Like, I have a smartphone. Like, cool, bud. We all... Yeah, that's some like funny small stuff that we didn't get into yet, but they do a thing with Johnny trying to learn. He calls a pawn shop and he's like, "You sold me a lemon. This laptop won't work." He's like, "Did you hit the button to turn it on?" Like, he has to hit the button. He doesn't know how to connect to Wi-Fi and all that.
He's like, "You said this was a wireless laptop. Why do I need a wire to charge it?"
It's so great. But then it kind of gets like season. I think season 2 was the best one out of the 3 for me. I don't know why, just because it was more fighting. I liked how it was more. And then you had Hawk, who was...
I think season 3 ended the best.
Season 3, with them coming together. Season 2 ended fucked up, though. The way season 2 ended, which is essentially just... This season just led up to Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai. You knew they were going to brawl at some point with all the kids.
Big, like, brawls with the kids.
Yeah, they were fighting off and on or whatever. And then they had a huge brawl in the high school.
Yeah.
And they were all just kicking the crap out of each other. And Miguel... Because Johnny didn't like how Reese was teaching them the... just essentially take somebody out. So Johnny was trying to teach him some morals and say, "Listen, you don't always have to do that. You don't have to finish people all the time. You can show people mercy, essentially, even though it says no mercy." But he goes, you still can.
Yeah.
And he
'Cause
shows
he's like Johnny's like half Cobra Kai now, and like
Yeah.
sort of like he's incorporating.
there's a lot
some
of
stuff
growth
from
of him.
Miyagi-Do.
You can see as he's getting like, teaching these kids and doing whatever. He's like,
Yeah.
you can kind of see he's like, I did some messed up stuff before,
Yeah.
and I don't want you guys to do that stuff.
Yeah.
And then so Miguel beats, I can't remember, I forget his fucking name, but he beats his son essentially. That he's gonna like essentially knock him out.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. And then his son jumps up and gives him like a spinning kick or whatever. Miguel goes flying off of like a second floor balcony and hits a rail on his back, and now he's like paralyzed.
Yeah.
That's how that season ended, was him
And it
just
sucks because it's
falling
like
down.
the first time Miguel shows mercy. Like,
And he gets
fucking kicked
he
off
gets
a
kicked
balcony.
off a balcony and
Becomes
he
paralyzed.
gets paralyzed.
Yeah.
And then the third season picks up with him obviously paralyzed in bed.
Yeah.
And Johnny and having a messed up relationship. His son's on the run from the cops and everything too. Whatever. You're like, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, that show's intense.
Oh God, Cobra Kai. Yes.
Cobra Kai. I never saw 2 and 3 though of Cobra Kai Karate Kid. I just saw the original. That's the only one.
I think the second one is when they went to Japan.
Yeah, there were some flashbacks from it in
Yeah.
the show. That's the
Yeah,
only
when
parts
he
that
went
I know.
to
Yeah.
I think it was Nagasaki. I don't know. It wasn't. No, it was something like that. It wasn't.
It was
Nagasaki,
where
but it was.
Mr. Miyagi was from.
Yeah.
Because doesn't Daniel end up fighting Miyagi's
Okashima?
son?
I think it's Okashima now that I think. But yeah, he
Yeah.
Well, in the second one, it's Mr. Miyagi and his like rival when he was a kid, and then it's that guy's grandson and Daniel's son who have a
Yeah.
beef when they go to Japan, and they have like a fight to the death, or it's supposed to be, and obviously Daniel's son wins in
Yeah.
the end, and that's that famous scene where like he's laying there and he's got like this like open hand, weird knuckles closed thing, like
Yeah,
he's
it's
gonna
like the
kill the
monkey
guy,
paw.
but then
Yeah.
he honks his nose. He says honk instead of kills him. That's how it. Yeah.
He fucking honks his nose. And he teaches him like the paralyzing moves.
Yeah, he does this weird. The thing's like a stick and then a drum on the top, and it's got paddles. So when you spin it right or left, it goes like clink clink clink, like it makes those kind of noises
it's
or
like how they
whatever.
clap.
Yeah, so like there was
In
like
Japan.
some secret move he was doing. Essentially, he was doing that. Like
Yeah.
everyone started doing that little rattle thing. He remembered all of his training, and he did that. It was like this weird wishy-washy move. It's kind of how we beat
Yeah.
him. But
Dude, another good karate movie I saw like a week ago was like Kill Bill.
you never seen Kill Bill?
Well,
Ooh.
I saw it before, like bits and pieces, but like
Yep.
watching the whole franchise, like just like
Yeah.
in order and stuff, dude.
Quentin Tarantino, man, that dude doesn't mess around directing movies.
He does not. Like, dude, Pulp Fiction, Django Unchained.
Yeah.
Dude,
I've ever seen
his movie style is
Dusk
so
Till
unique,
Dawn.
too. Yeah.
The vampire movie with George Clooney, and he's in it. He's George Clooney's brother. That's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah,
in the
Quentin
movie.
Tarantino, he always makes like a guest appearance in his
In
movies.
Django, he's some like racist Australian.
Yeah, he gets blown up.
He says something about it, and he's like, "Well, what do you know about a blackie or whatever?" And you're like, "Jesus, dude,
You wrote these lines.
yeah,
You're the director.
this is from you."
This is no excuse. You can't do that.
God, how'd you get everyone to sign in
If
on
you
this?
write the lines for someone else, then it's okay. But if you write the lines for yourself,
Yeah, wait, for you to say? Ooh.
Uh,
I never saw Hateful Eight.
no,
No, was that good?
dude, that's an amazing movie.
That's
it's
Kurt
like
Russell and all the. Yeah.
it's like a whodunit movie, right?
Okay, it's a Clue.
So it's like 8 people in like this cottage, basically. That's where like the story ends up, inside this like cottage, and they're all stuck in the cottage because there's this massive snowstorm outside. No one can go outside. No one's leaving. Everyone's
alright.
stuck in there. But everyone's sketched out about each other because someone killed somebody there, and no one knows who, right? And basically, like you find there's like little clues and stuff about so most of them are just horrible people, and they got
Yeah.
like their own history. and
Just
stuff.
outlaws that are. Yep.
Yeah, and there's some of them that are together that you don't know are together until like later on. And dude, it's a classic like whodunit type.
That's pretty good.
Like, it's got its like mystery element to it too. It's like who can you trust, who can you not, and like so Samuel L. Jackson, he's in it.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's almost like the main character, I guess you could say, or like one of the main characters. And dude, he has one of the best monologues. He has some great monologues, like
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
He does it,
like his monologues are insane.
Yep.
And
I will
but
strike
dude,
down upon thee.
Yeah, so my favorite monologue from Samuel L. Jackson is Pulp Fiction, but the second one is Hateful Eight because,
Does he have like a?
dude, it goes hard.
Oh
Because
man.
it's like, and like this is the time where it's like Union and Confederate right after the war. That's when this like takes place. So there's a lot of tension between like people who
Yeah,
are on
yeah.
different sides and stuff.
Yeah, because now they're like, all right, now we're all one. Like, what do you
Yeah.
mean we were just killing each other for a long, horrifically killing each other? No, we're good now. Shit.
No, but Hateful Eight is a great
Is it?
movie.
Yeah.
You
I think
you
that's the
gotta watch it.
one Quentin Tarantino movie I've never seen is Hateful Eight.
Solid movie, man.
I think I just saw how long it was on
Yeah.
Netflix once. And I was like, I don't know if I get the.
Well, they have like the original version, which is like 2.5, 3 hours, and
Yeah.
then they have the extended version, which is 4 hours.
It's like, ugh.
I've watched both of them. I don't know what's different.
Doesn't seem that different now.
No, like it's different time lengths and there's different scenes and like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know they cut out stuff. But as I was watching both of them, I'm like, I don't know what they cut out. I'm like, it's so good that I'm just like entranced.
3 hours is a long time to be sitting
Yeah.
in front of a. Never mind 4.
But dude, it keeps you immersed the whole time.
Does it? Yeah. I gotta.
It's not like any moment where it's dull.
Looks like a Red Dead 2 scene. I've seen the previews. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
the opening with the snow.
Exactly, yeah. That's exactly right. Hateful Eight. And
Hateful Eight. Gotta check that out.
but dude, in Kill Bill, the wiggle your big toe.
Yes.
As soon as her big toe moves, like the next scene is her just walking.
Yep.
Yeah, because she was like paralyzed.
Yeah.
And dude, that was a fucked up scene. Like,
Oh, what he? Yeah.
like how like the male nurse is like letting like people pay to have sex with the paralyzed like
Yes.
people. Yeah,
That was fucked up.
yeah. That
Now
was
that
a-
you say that, I haven't
was a-
seen that movie in like 10 years, but as soon as you said that, I just got this, thing in
Yeah.
my head, is thought, and I'm like, oh my god, Jesus
That's a
Christ.
raw
that was,
scene when you realize what's going on.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. You get,
He takes out like the most dirty looking like thing of Vaseline from his pocket, and he's like, just throw some of this on her.
oh, no,
fucking
don't do that.
Horrible. But it ends nice because she bites his lip
She
off.
bites his lip off, yes.
Yeah, and he's bleeding everywhere.
All of those usually end nice
Yeah.
for the good guys, just horrifically dying.
Dude, the intro scene too, where like they're fighting in Kill Bill, like she's fighting like the black lady in her
Yeah,
house,
Uma
and then her
Thurman.
daughter just comes home, and then
And they act like nothing's, they're just all like,
and they're just covered in like each other's blood and stuff.
Hey, how's it
And then-
going? Yeah.
And her daughter comes home from school, and then she offers her coffee after that.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking awesome. And then I didn't. So the first time I watched it, I didn't catch it, but the second time I did, when they're in the kitchen, and like when the black lady like has the gun in the cereal box.
Yeah.
On the cereal box, it says "Boom Cereal."
It's
Like,
called Boom
yeah,
Cereal.
with like an
That's
explosion
so
on
awesome.
the on. So
That's
like
some like Looney Tunes.
yeah, it's like the foreshadowing because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the cereal box explodes because she has a gun in it.
And Daffy Duck's holding it. Boom, Makes some messed up movies, man.
Yeah, and then I didn't see the Kill Bill where the daughter comes back for the revenge though.
Was that 3?
Yeah, it's Kill
Yeah.
Bill 3. I didn't see that one. I saw when she gets to like Kill Bill, which is the second one.
The second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I actually saw the third one either. Was that one? Was that one that took a little while to come out? Was that one of those things where it was like the first 2 and then a little while to the third? Because I know sometimes movies do that, where it's
I'm not sure.
like quick, and then a little while, and you're like, I lost interest. You're like, this.
I'm not sure about the dating, but
Like how they're coming out with another Matrix movie, and I'm like, you kind of waited a long time. Well, Keanu and same Trinity is going to be in it. And I'm like, but they died. How are they? Whatever.
but they're back because it's Matrix.
They're back.
Oh.
Well, karate movies though. That was the only reason. Like the first one was a really good movie.
Yeah.
The other 2 just had good fight scenes. Like the
Yeah.
story wasn't that great, but the fight scenes were fucking awesome in
Yeah,
those
dude,
Matrix
the
movies.
story in the first one is like fucking phenomenal.
It's like you can think it's real.
Yeah.
Like I do somewhat believe that we're living in some type of simulated reality because you
Yeah.
watch that movie and you're like, man, he makes a lot of
and then
kinda
you start
sense
looking
how it-
around, and you're like, what
I've had anytime I have deja vu, I still think of that. I'm like, oh, it's a glitch in the system.
dude, I've had a really bad deja vu.
You ever get it where you get like dizzy?
Yeah.
You get it and you're like, whoa, that was fucking weird.
You feel like you feel like 2 universes just emerged, and
Yeah,
like
literally.
you were in the middle of it.
You're
And
about to, like-
you're like, whoa, what just happened?
Was I just in a different dimension for a half second? Like,
Dude, I got a weird story. So one time I was at I'd never been to this house before, right? It was like a family member's house, but I've never been there. Like I didn't even know they existed. like it was like an aunt that I didn't know until I was like 16 or something.
Yep.
And dude, when I was young, I was like 10 or 11 years old. I had a dream when I was in this house, right? And I was in this house, and like I was acting like I lived there, right? Like I didn't know the house at all, but I knew like where the bowls were, where
Shit.
where the plates were, where the forks were immediately, right? Like
But
just
you'd
all
been
that,
there before.
all that little stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like in the dream, it felt like I lived there, like it was my house, right? And I don't remember anyone else in the dream. I just remember in the dream, I went and grabbed the plate immediately. Like I knew where it was.
You knew where, yep.
And dude, when I went to her house, dude, that deja vu happened. I was
Oh,
in the
man.
same room where I had that dream. Like literally, I remember the dream
You're
like
oh, fuck.
fucking perfectly. And dude, I felt the impulse, like, cause my mom was like, grab a plate, right? Cause like we were eating over her
Yeah.
house. And dude, I felt the impulse, and I went to the cabinet, opened it, grabbed the plate, and pulled it out. And as soon as I pulled out the plate, I was like, holy shit.
You get that weird, like, dizzy kind of feeling, and you're like, what the
It was the most hardcore deja vu I've ever had.
Oh.
Because and then I immediately remembered that dream. Like it was like my dream and reality just intersected at that point.
Like you were like, I've done this before.
Yeah.
Like I've lived this exact moment before.
Yeah.
And then
like,
your brain is just like, what do you mean?
Because it wasn't like a unexplainable deja vu. It
Yeah.
was like I had a dream of this, and then I did it years later.
Like I literally lived this before.
Yeah.
Like
How
did I know where that plate was? Like,
yeah, how would I know like what cabinet to go in? And like I had the impulse, like I knew where it was, and that's where it was. You know?
Like it was muscle memory almost.
Yeah,
like,
it was
this is where the
muscle
plates are.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait a minute.
And then
I've never fucking been here before.
Plate, and my mom was like, "What are you doing?" And I was just like, "This is weird."
I'm time traveling, lady. That's what.
Deja vu is weird.
Deja vu is a weird thing.
And it happens. Like
I feel like it happens a lot with dreams too, like you said. I think a lot of times it happens. I'm like, is this deja vu because someone said that word to me before, or did I dream? I feel like most of the time when I get deja vu, I'm like, did I dream this?
Did you dream this situation?
Yeah. Did I?
Yeah.
Is this just a similar thing where you're like, fuck, man, what? It's a
Yeah.
weird thing that happens to people is deja vu. Whatever.
Yeah. Like, as far as like deja vu and like sort of like psychic shit, stuff like that. When I was little, like, so I have no recollection. I don't think I can say that. Like, I have no recognition or like recollection. Oh, dude.
Yep, memories.
I can't say words. So I have no way of recalling. Like, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
I have no way of recalling the moments that happened, but I know my mom telling me like the stories of me doing this later on.
Yeah.
So I don't remember it, but my mom said like I used to predict shit when I was like a little kid, when I was like 3 or like 4 years old, right? And like, so, and it happened a couple times in a couple different like places and stuff. So the first story she told me, we were going to this bowling alley that we've never been to before, and I've never been there either. I was like 3 or 4 years old, and before we left, I was like Mickey Mouse, and my mom was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, the big Mickey Mouse picture. And then she goes, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" And then eventually, like, I let it go, or whatever, and I stopped saying it.
Just whatever, yep.
But I was kind of adamant. I was like, Mickey Mouse. I was like, Mickey Mouse, big Mickey Mouse picture. And then we get to the bowling alley, and on, like, the wall behind, like, all the alleys is a huge Mickey Mouse mural. Or, like, mural, right? A giant one. And then I pointed to her, and I go, "That's it." And then she goes, "What?" And I go, That's it. That's Mickey Mouse, big Mickey Mouse picture." And then she goes, she said she got like goosebumps and got scared.
Yeah, especially little kids like that, because they can't really explain. You just said Mickey Mouse, but you can't explain what you meant by that. So she's just like, "What is this?"
It's like I
did
pointed
he know
to her
this
and
already?
I was like, "That's it." I was like, "That's the Mickey Mouse." And like, I don't remember it at all.
Yeah,
but
3 years old.
But she told me it happened. And the second one that she told me about it was like a rainbow. So like so apparently I was pointing at the sky and I go, "Rainbow," but there was no rainbow, right? But a few minutes after I did that, we got like a torrential downpour, and then like right after there was like a rainbow.
Jesus Christ.
So like it's like I was pointing where it was in the sky and she couldn't see it, and then right after the downpour, that's where it was.
My God.
Like in the exact spot. And like, so like,
Tyler's telling the future.
that's just what she told me. Like I did a couple times when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah,
As I got older, it never happened again. Like,
yeah.
but still, it's kind of like
That's freaky shit, dude.
it's freaky, man.
That happened. No, I've never done that, but my mom told me and my dad told me the same story, and they've been divorced for a long time, so I know because I've heard both the story from them. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, this actually happened. And my mom's into like the mysterious stuff, like the Wicca, all that. Like she's into witchcraft and studying all that stuff. And my dad just a complete opposite, Republican, Catholic, wants nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? But he used to tell me that when she was pregnant, that she would do stuff like that. Like she could just tell stuff was gonna happen. That they would be sitting in the apartment and she'd go, the phone's about to ring. He'd be like, what? And then the fucking phone would ring.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I get like, dude, I guess like some premonition stuff that she used to get when she said pregnant with me and my sister. That like the only thing, like when she was pregnant, she could like, not big stuff obviously, but like small stuff. I guess she used to do that all the time. Like, oh, someone's gonna knock on the door and someone. My dad hated it. He's like, no, none of this devil. You know what I mean? That's all devil stuff. You know,
Exactly.
all that. My baby's gonna be a demon. How does she know when the phone's gonna ring?
Oh god. Yeah, dude, psychic stuff's pretty crazy. Like right now,
You never know, dude.
yeah, right now, like if you ask me if I believe in it, I'll just probably shrug and be like, no, not really.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? But like, from what my mom told me that I did, and I don't think she'd lie about that. Because as she was telling me the story, like I could tell she was like scared.
Yeah.
Like she was kind of scared of saying it, and like
She thinks
that's how I
she's
know.
gonna trigger something.
That's how I know she wasn't lying.
Yeah.
And,
You never know though, dude.
Yeah.
Even not like
kind of crazy.
not real. I don't think people are moving shit around with their minds. But
Yeah.
they could be. Who knows? It could be like the end of X-Men 3.
Well,
where
like
Magneto barely makes that chest piece move. Maybe you could.
yeah. How to explain it like scientifically is like I've seen documentaries where it's like science and like psychic stuff.
Yeah.
And like the science of like being psychic and like what some people think is like almost like universes. Like you know how they say like universes are kind of like bubbles.
Yeah.
Right. And like you can think of Marvel universes, how there's different universes
Oh,
and
yeah.
like they're all in different bubbles and they're all got different names and stuff. It's like, well, people, how they try to explain deja vu and stuff is like it might be like those universes come together for a split second, like those bubbles, and then they like
Yep.
pull apart. Like the best way to explain it is to use that analogy because you can imagine two bubbles coming together.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's obviously if it is like that, it's a lot more complicated. But
Yeah, giant bubbles. They also say that that's if you think of the bubble theory, that's how sometimes other universes are created. The two bubbles colliding, and that is the Big Bang.
oh
Like
yeah,
it's almost creating
Yeah, I heard of
other-
that. Yeah,
It's
That's
true though. I
interesting.
mean, it's just like they do the same thing. You know, all the DC stuff. It's like Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3,
Yeah.
but it's the same people living on it, just living different lives. I mean, if the Earth's, I mean, if the universe is really infinite, then what are the chances that happens? 1 in 10 to 100,000 billion. Like, well, then that happens in infinity.
Yeah.
However big of a number you can throw at it, it's infinity. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter how big of a number you throw.
that's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So it could be. I don't know. They always say what Einstein said. You can just poke a hole through space almost and fold it. You know, that's how you can travel real fast. I mean, why couldn't you do that almost with memories of somebody living in the same dimension, but
yeah, and
walking
like
in the exact same part of?
it was weird too, cause like when I was at my aunt's house and like I did that, when I grabbed that plate impulsively, I felt like a different person when I did it. Like I didn't feel like myself when I went to go
Yeah.
grab it. It was almost like another. It was like another life that I knew. So it was almost like a past life or something that I knew that plate was or something.
But you're like, I know I shouldn't know this.
Because yeah, I was like, I shouldn't know this. This isn't like my memory.
Yeah,
But I knew
I've
where
never
it
been
was.
here before.
Yeah. So it almost felt like it was like someone else's memory that was in my head.
You're like, oh no.
So yeah, so it's like it was really like, it wasn't like deja vu like it happened to me before. It was almost like this isn't my memory. I was like, I don't know why I have this in my head.
It's just you and somebody in Earth 13 at the same time reaching for that plate, but like somehow, like you were saying, the universes were close enough to each other that like it could. I mean, why not? Who the fuck?
Well, what some people think universes are like too is like they're almost like different types of matter, so they can like fuse through each other and go through each other, and they barely interact. But those
Yep.
small interactions that are
There's
like
all the
are like what science would consider like dark matter. You
Yeah.
know, it's there, but you can't
Yep.
really touch it. You know, something like that is what it felt like in my experience. You know?
Absolutely.
And I mean, it's just a subjective experience. It doesn't mean anything to science at all.
No, yeah.
But it's fun to talk about because it actually happened, and like I know,
Like
I know that feeling, and I've never felt anything like that.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I,
it was
I,
weird.
I believe in all that. I mean, not like to the full extent, but I believe in ghosts and all that. And I think
Mm-hmm.
all that. The main reason I believe in ghosts is because I think everybody can't be lying. And I know
Yeah.
that's not a great point, but everyone who's ever had a ghost story,
Did I tell
They
my
can't
ghost
all
story
be-
on the podcast?
who might have, I don't remember. I mean, we've done a whole 9 episodes, so we got a lot of.
I mean, fuck it, I'll do it again. But if I did do it, I mean, feel free to skip like the next 5 minutes. But all right, so here goes my ghost story. If you if you heard it, just skip 5 minutes. So I was in like 5th grade, right? I might have told you the story before, but I was in 5th grade, and I wanted. This was the first time I was ever gonna sleep over a friend's house, right? So I was pretty damn nervous, and
I hate sleeping over people's houses.
yeah, like I was always the type of kid that had everyone sleep over my house.
Exact same.
Everyone would sleep over
Yep.
my house, and that's where I felt comfortable.
Yep.
I didn't like sleeping over someone else's
No,
house.
I never did.
First time I actually slept over someone's house, like I pissed their bed, so I was like scared.
Oh, so now it's just like I'm never going to anybody else's house.
So this was
ever.
like the second time I was doing it, and like
I'm not drinking any liquids. I'm not.
Yeah, like I was young though. I was 5th grade, and so I had these friends, Devin and Dylan, right? And they were twins. They were like fraternal twins or something. Like they didn't look alike, but you could tell they were twins.
Yeah,
like kind of
maternal. Yep.
Yeah. And
Maternal.
they slept in the same room, and they had 2 beds next to each other, and then a TV like in the middle of their beds on the other side of the room. And then to like the right of the TV is where the door was. So I was more friends with Devin than Dylan. So Dylan was like, all right, I'll sleep on the couch tonight. You and Devin can sleep upstairs. Devin was sleeping on the bed closest to the door, and I was sleeping on the bed farthest from the door on like the left side of the TV. So we fall asleep. I don't know, it was like 10 or 11. And then it was immediately at 3 a.m. Like he had this like clock, one of those red clocks with like the red,
yeah.
Classic.
Lights up the whole fucking room.
Yeah, he had one of those right next to his TV. And I wake up and I look at the clock and it's 3 a.m. on the dot, right? And I was very, very scared. I didn't know why I was scared,
But
I
you
was
knew you just woke
petrified.
up fucking scared.
And then I looked to the right towards the door, and then there was this black figure there. And dude, it was silhouette black. It was the darkest black your mind can imagine.
Ink.
It was so black, it stood out against the black room. Because there were no lights on.
Yeah.
That's how black this thing was, right? And it was standing at the door. The door was open, so you could see like the hallway, right? Couldn't see the hallway because it was standing in the door. And you wake up, your eyes are blurry, right?
Oh, yeah.
You open your eyes right away, it's gonna be blurry. You gotta
Can't
rub your
see.
eyes.
Yeah.
So my eyes are a little bit blurry, and I'm looking at the door. And I rub my eyes, and I'm staring at the door. And then my eyes, my vision comes back to me a little bit better after I rub my eyes, and it's still there, and I can see it better. And I rub my eyes again, and it's still there, and I can see it better. And then I rub my eyes a third time, and then the door's closed, and it's gone. And then the next morning, well, I didn't go back to bed.
Oh yeah, no.
I was like, it's 3 hours till sunrise. I just need to make it 3 hours without
Try to wake the
dying.
kid up.
Oh yeah, I'm getting there.
Oh, all right.
So it was 3 hours till sunrise, and I was like, that's all I gotta do. And then I look at Devin, and I'm like, Devin, wake up, right? But I didn't want to yell too loud
Because he's gonna hear the
the
gonna
ghost
come
is
back.
gonna come back. It's gonna hear me
and murder
right?
me. Yes.
Yeah, it's just gonna kill me because it hears me trying to get help.
Yep.
So I have 2 shoes right next to my bed, right? So I take one shoe and I pick it up, and then I whip it at Devin because he's snoring so loud. He's
Dude's
out
out
cold, and I whip it at him. The first shoe hits him directly in the face, boom, and then it goes flying off, like it ricocheted off his face. All he does is go, he moans and then rolls over and goes back to bed. I was like, I just hit you with a shoe, you motherfucker. I was like, I'm about to die from a ghost. You're not gonna wake up from a shoe to the face.
Shots. You just
And I take my second shoe, right? I'm like, this is my last one. I don't get nothing else to throw. And I was like, I'm not getting up out of the bed because something's gonna grab my ankles and pull me under the bed.
And then no one will ever see me again.
Yeah, I'll be fucking dead. So I grab the shoe and I whip it. The second one, I completely missed the second one.
Oh yeah, just it was, nerves at that point. Your adrenaline sky high.
It was not a Kobe shot at all.
Game 7.
It was not a Kobe shot. I completely missed that one. I was like, fuck, that was my last shoe. I got nothing else to do. So I so I have like the TV remote next to me. So I'm like, I need more light in here.
Yeah.
But I can't get up and turn the light on.
Because I'm dead.
Because I'll die. So I turn the TV on, right? And then Sweet Life of Zack and Cody comes on. And
something nice.
Yeah, it was nice, right? It was a good feeling once that came on because I was like, oh, I know this show.
I'm safe now.
I was like, it's not gonna come in here because the TV light. And so immediately at 6 a.m., right, I throw my shoes on, right, as quick as I can because I got out of bed. And like when I got out of bed, I fucking like almost did like.
Oh, you would have hurtled?
Yeah, I hurtled off the bed so that nothing could grab my ankles from underneath. And I ran over to my shoes and I grabbed my shoes and I put them on, and dude, I sprinted out of that house. Like
you didn't wake anybody up?
No, it was 6 a.m.
No, see you, bye, I'm leaving.
Dude, I sprinted out of the house and I ran home. And
was it far?
Luckily, my house was like 3 streets over, right? Because so his house is right on Bridge Street over there.
Yep.
Like it's right there on Bridge Street.
Yep.
And then I live. It's the same place where I live now. I live near like the flower shop up there.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So it was only a couple streets over.
Oh my God, sprinting! I bet you.
But I was sprinting at 6 a.m, and dude, as soon as I get home, I like swing my door open, and my mom's like awake and stuff, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And as soon as I close the door behind me, I start crying like crazy. And my mom's like, "What happened? What happened?" I was like, fucking ghost." And later that day, Devin comes to my house. Like when he wakes up, he goes, "Dude, where were you?"
Yeah.
You know, like I woke up, you weren't there. What happened? And I was like, dude, I saw a fucking ghost at your house. And he goes, yeah, sometimes weird shit happens. And I go, what? He goes, yeah, sometimes weird shit happens at my house. And like, I was like, what do you mean weird shit? He goes, sometimes it puts something somewhere and it'll be somewhere else, or like something fall on the floor and like it like wasn't off kilter.
That.
And I was like, dude, what do you mean? I was like, well, you didn't tell me this before?
Yeah.
I was like, I told you I was nervous to sleep over your house. He goes, I thought it would have scared you away. And I was like, dude, you don't know what I fucking saw last night. I was like, I hit you in the face with a shoe. And he was like, you hit me in the face with a shoe? I was like, you didn't fucking wake up, you fucking asshole.
You're a bad friend.
You're a horrible friend.
You tell me about your haunted house and you're eating my shoe shots, throwing your fucking grill, dude. Help me.
I was like, how could you sleep through that? Hell, you know? And I was like, Jesus, I hit you in the face with a shoe. And like, dude, I was driving that point home. I was like, I hit you in the face with a fucking shoe.
What's wrong with you?
What do you? I was like, oh my God. And yeah, Devin was like really apologetic about it. And then, dude, eventually, it was like a couple days. No, it was like a day later. We went to his house, right? And it was daytime, so I was like, it's fine.
Oh yeah, it's safe.
I was like, it's safe.
The sun will save us.
I ended up talking to Dylan. I was like, dude, were you awake at 3 a.m.? Did you check on us that night? He goes, no, I wasn't there. Because I wanted to make sure it was no one in the house, like, checking on us.
Yeah,
making sure
a parent
we were okay.
or something, just making sure you guys...
I went to his dad. And I was like, did you check on us? He goes, no, dude, we was fast asleep at 3 a.m. I asked his mom. I was like, did you check on us 3 a.m.? Like, I was asking very specifically. Like, I was trying to make sure, like, I wasn't seeing something that wasn't real. And his mom goes, nope, didn't check on you. The only people in that house were Devin, Dylan, his mom, and his dad. That's it. Devin, couldn't have been him. He was sleeping. I hit him in the face with a shoe.
Yep.
So, it wasn't Devin. Dylan said no. His mom said no. His dad said no. Dude, it was a solid black figure in that door.
Fuck that.
And what's so crazy about the story, it closed the fucking door.
It closed the door.
It closed the door behind it when it left.
It was just staring at you, and it was like, all right, that's enough staring. Let me go stare at this kid in the couch.
Dude, I woke up petrified. Like...
Oh, it's like, even worse. I think the worst part is like you saying like the beginning is that you woke up scared, like something new, like you knew.
I didn't know why I was scared, but when I looked at the door, I was like,
that's like primitive primeval instinct. Like, you know what I mean? Like when something knows something's about to come and eat
know
it.
something.
Like it doesn't know, but it's like, oh shit, something's about to fucking go down.
You know
dude.
something's behind you. Yeah.
Like you wake up with your heartbeat and you're like, oh, why am I up?
Exactly.
Why am I up like this?
Fucking ghost stories, dude.
Ooh. Yeah. I think I was gonna say I got a few, but the scariest one. God, now I got to think about it. The scariest one was when we lived at a house where somebody got murdered in the basement. And once again, if we're sorry, you can just skip this next 5 minutes too. If you've already heard this, it's 10 minutes. They're like, they already talked about this. Shut up. Me, my mom, my aunt, my older sister, and my 2 younger cousins, both boys. We all lived together in this apartment. And we found out later on from the neighborhood kids that someone got murdered in the basement during a drug deal. So,
God.
And we were like, I mean, my oldest sister at the time was probably like 11 to 12, so I was like 9. My cousin was like 7 and 5 or something like. So we were all young. And my mom would go to work, my aunt would go to work, and we had a babysitter. She was, some lady in her 30s, some old babysitter. And I remember we were sitting in the living room with her once, and the channels went all the way as high as they could, and they went all the way back down to as low as they could. And then she was like, "Oh, someone's probably sitting on the remote."
Yeah.
And then we look and the remote is on the armrest, and then the volume went all the way up, and then the volume went all the way down. And then we were all just sitting there. We're kids, so we're looking at her at this point, like, lady, you need to explain what's happening, because we're all children, and this is the end for all of us.
So were the channels going real fast up and down?
No, a little. It was like someone was pressing it.
Oh, it was like,
so like 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. So then that happened. And then we were sitting there, and the same night, like right before my mom showed up, we were all still in the living room, because we were all scared. We weren't moving. And the faucet turns on in the kitchen. Turned off. And we're just sitting there like, what the fuck?
And you were all in that room?
And we were all in the living room just hiding. The kitchen was right
shit.
behind us, and we heard it turn on and turn off. And I could tell she was scared, because she wasn't even like, no, it's okay, kid. She quiet.
She was like
dead
primitive,
quiet.
like quiet.
And then my aunt came out maybe maybe quicker than that after that happened. Dude, she just got up and left. She was just like, I'm out, dude. And we were trying to tell them what happened, and they were like, just being parents. Nah, nothing happened. That didn't, it was
kids.
something else. Yeah. And then we were so afraid that we all slept in my room. All of us slept in my room because I had a room. And we would be in the room where you would hear like, like someone was running up and down the stairs. And we would always like look out. We'd make one of us be like, Sean, go look out there. He's like peeking out. There would never be anything there.
Damn.
And then we were like, and then we found out later, because the landlord there, we lived at a few houses that he owned. An old couple fell down the stairs at that house and died too. So 3 different people. I mean, 2 different people. It was the husband or whatever. But he fell down the steps, so we thought we were hearing him falling down the fucking steps.
Yeah, right.
And then someone's turning on all the faucets and everything like that. So after a while, my mom and my aunt just wouldn't believe us. They were just like, nothing's going on. So we just kept sleeping in my room, and then nothing happened for like a couple months. So we just, you kids, you forget about it. After a while, we all go back to our own rooms. And I was in my sister's room, and we were just hanging out. And my little 2 cousins, they would like come in and open the door and run away. Just, little kid shit, whatever. Yeah, and we would like try to catch them while they were opening the door. And so we were waiting there. My sister was waiting there. And you heard like, so she whipped the door open and looked down to their room, and she didn't see anything. And she looked over to the other side, and I could just see her face. And she said, I just saw a shadow go into the bathroom. And we were like, what? She's like, yeah, a shadow went into the bathroom. And so we called my cousins in. We're all just sitting in the room like, we're not going in that bathroom. For the rest of the time we lived there, if any one of us went to the bathroom, we would take somebody with us to stand outside of the bathroom in case something got us while we were in the bathroom. We were so afraid. Someone would have to stand guard outside the bathroom.
Jesus.
Because we were like, dude, this is it. Something's going to get me in the bathtub or something. You know what I mean? No one's going to hear me scream. So we were like, I'll be standing post guard outside like, you ain't gonna die, man. I got you. I'll go get mom if the ghost comes. Like, what am I really gonna do if you said screaming in the bathroom?
It just makes you feel more comfortable because you got someone.
There's knowing somebody's there.
Someone there. Even though they're not gonna do anything because it's a ghost and it can
do
do whatever it wants.
My dad used to work security at the old mills, and I told you before he doesn't believe in any of that shit. Yeah. But he did tell me that he saw a little kid dressed up like an old. I think I know I told this story before, but yeah, that he saw like a old mill kid. Dressed like old school 1800 shit, and he like shined a flashlight on. He's like, "Oh shit!" And then like the kid was just gone.
Oh wow!
And anytime he tells me, I just see this look in his face, and I'm like, oh no, he's not lying. He doesn't like telling the story, but I'm like, Dad, tell me about that ghost in the mills again.
Yeah. Like, if you saw see, your sister saw a shadow. I saw a black apparition too.
Yep.
But if you see something like in full form, like a kid, like that,
with hair and clothes and
then it just disappears when you shine, dude, that's way worse.
Fuck that. He said I didn't say anything.
Oh
He goes,
my
I went
God.
upstairs, I took the elevator that went up to the office, and I walked by the office, and there was like, some secretary or somebody else there. And she was trying to ask me what was wrong, because he said he was like, white as a ghost. And he said, I didn't say anything. I go, did you quit? He goes, no, I went back the next day. I'm like, Dad, you were a savage, bro. I would have been like, I would have walked up and just taken everything off and been like, nope. If I'm ever in the meat room one day cutting and I see like a floating cow of the cow that I'm cutting up, dude, I am out. I'm not just going to stick around.
The fuck out of there.
Ghosts, man. Though it's like aliens. I believe in that shit too.
Mm-hmm.
Though at the same time, I was watching Rogan podcast the other day, and he had a guy on there who said he got abducted by aliens, and he was telling his story, and it was bad.
It was
like
really
because Rogan's a great interviewer. Yeah. So like the guy would be like, oh, I was up in the ship and I was laying down. They had a light, and Rogan's like, well, what kind of light? Was it like bright? What? Like, no, just like a regular light. And then I fell off the table and I grabbed this thing on the shelf, and Rogan's just like, well, what did it look like? What did you grab? It was like he said it was a cylinder thing. It was like clear. I don't know. I couldn't tell. I wasn't really looking at it. He goes, and then I'm holding off these aliens. And as he's telling the story, Rogan just keeps interviewing, jumping in with questions that have to do with the story. And the guy, every time, he'd wait like 4 seconds before he'd answer. Like, you're just thinking of an answer. Because Rogan would be like, well, what do the aliens look like? And he'd be like, just the typical big eyes, little. And then I thought about attacking them, but there was a doorway behind. Rogan's like a doorway. Like a regular doorway was behind. Yeah. And I'm just like, I wonder if Rogan in the middle of this interview was just like.
Door that like opens.
I feel like Rogan just want to put his hands in his head and be like, why did we get this fucking guy? I mean, he didn't get abducted by aliens. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Though at the same time, would you ever really believe somebody if they did? If someone's like, dude, I got to I wouldn't believe you that the aliens took you.
The only alien story I believe is Bob Lazar. Like,
yeah, but that was not like abduction. Like, I don't believe an alien's gonna take you on a ship and send you back. Wouldn't you have some type of like residual radiation on you or something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I believe Bob Lazar 100% because that's a dude who has like scientific degrees and he's just telling you what he saw. That he's been saying the same story since it happened.
Like, the only thing that's crazy about the Bob Lazar story, like, the most convincing thing is, like, he has no reason to lie. Like, it makes his life worse telling you about this.
He'd rather just stop talking about it, like, if he wanted to. You know what I mean? He's like, why am I bringing this up?
He doesn't even want to talk about it. Yeah.
There was certain stuff he wouldn't even say in that Rogan podcast where he's like, I'll tell you off air, but I'm not saying it on the air because then now I'm going to get even more. Looked at and everything by
because he said he had the FBI literally raid him multiple times. Why would they do that to someone who's never...
They erased him working at that place, but it doesn't work because there's old newspaper clippings and old things that has his name saying he worked there. But the government erased records that he ever worked there. So then people can be like, well, what do you mean? His name's... And like, no, it was,
They even had the college erase his...
Yeah, like his degrees and all that.
His degrees and shit.
Wait, but I...
So, like, why would
What about all the classmates I went with? They all just kind of act like I didn't hang out with them.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're paying those classmates to, like, be quiet about it.
You gotta figure this son that just gotta be like, no, dude, I went to school with him. I remember.
Yeah, you, like...
We shotgunned a beer once and he pissed himself.
There's gotta be some people that remember him, you know? So...
Yep. Anytime we're talking, we always go to ghosts or aliens or...
Dude, it's interesting.
Fun stuff.
It's fun.
It's the fun stuff to talk about.
Gets my blood pumping, man.
It's
like that shit.
That's when I get more into like when I watch like the universe of space stuff, and they're like, oh, if we could just drill down this 100 miles of ice on, it's not Europa, but one of Saturn's moons, and it's like that's where they think there's actually water. Yeah. Because like that's like an ice planet, and it shouldn't, but the gravity from Saturn like kind of makes the planet slosh, so it creates heat. Yeah. So like beneath all the ice, there's hot water vents and everything we have, and like if we could just drill, like we'll never. What technology do we need to get down there to drill that deep? Like we're not gonna send Bruce Willis and a crew out there to drill through. But it just sucks because you're like, but I really wish we could drill down there and see if there's something swimming down there, some fucking merman or whatever.
So I'm 23 right now, and I just hope before I die we find some life.
Oh
just bacterial life on Mars.
You just need microbe life, just something.
That'd be so satisfying. I can die now.
Even like a fossilized, doesn't need to be live.
Yeah.
Show something that once. Oh man, I was hanging out with my buddy yesterday, and we were talking about, I don't know what the fuck we were talking. Oh, I was talking about how I have a buddy who's he believes in all the conspiracy. He believes in QAnon. He thinks dinosaurs weren't real, and he thinks the Earth's flat. Like, oh yeah, I got a friend who believes in all this
Dinosaurs
stuff.
aren't
real.
real.
He thinks dinosaurs weren't real.
Whew.
I don't know if he's an early Earth Christian though, because you know those people think that the Earth is only 10,000 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. But
carbon dating.
So I was talking about yeah. He doesn't think that's a thing. Like when I bring that up, he's like, "Oh, how can you do that?" And I'm like, "Just because I can't explain how they do it, because I work at a fucking grow. I'm not a scientist. I don't know how they can take a piece of rock and tell you how old the carbon is inside the rock, or I don't know. But I believe that they know how to do it. Why would they lie?
There's no reason to lie.
Why to lie about how old the Earth is?
There's
like what gain? What gain do you get by saying it's flat?
There's hundreds of thousands of scientists that do that.
Yeah, the Earth is flat thing is still just the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Like, how is that?
What about this T-Rex fossil? Nope.
No. So my buddy, I thought he was joking with me. And he's like, yeah, they think that there might be dinosaur fossils on the moon. And this is a kid who has, a wife and kids and everything. And I love the kid. And I was staring at him like, please don't tell me that you actually believe this. And he had a point that I never thought of that might be true. He goes, no, like they think when the asteroid hit, it hit so hard that maybe some fragments of a dinosaur got blown out into space.
Maybe,
with the space dust, and there might be some dinosaur stuff. And I was like,
holy shit.
I never even thought about that, dude. I'm like,
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I was like, I don't think there'd be skeletons on there, but there could be something. It could be. I was like, holy shit. I was like sitting there at a restaurant while we were drinking, and I was just staring at him like, I never even thought about that. I don't know if that's possible. It could be. I don't know how far debris got projected into space after that.
When you think about it logically, I mean, yeah.
It could. Why not? I mean, why couldn't?
Exactly.
That was fucked up.
There's just a T-Rex skeleton just floating out
there.
Just
a head.
You're like, how?
Yeah, one day we just find it. Is that a T-Rex? Half dead woolly mammoth floating. What the fuck?
It'd be crazy if you found. So how space is like cold, right?
Yep.
I wonder if space could preserve a specimen. Like, imagine if there's a dinosaur out there that just got blasted into space, but it wasn't
just
damaged.
Preserved. I think the only thing that would fuck it up is the radiation.
Yeah.
I think nothing would be able to stop it from getting all the sun and all that radiation would just.
But would it still be intact from? Like, I know radiation would like cause cancer and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. I don't know if that's true though, because I don't know if it was frozen. I think it would stay frozen, right?
Imagine finding a frozen dinosaur in space.
There's just one. Voyager missed it when it was flying by Saturn.
Oh my god.
Or even crazier, what if one of those things crashed?
What?
Like a frozen dinosaur somehow. Well, I mean, it would
right?
break up in the atmosphere. It would never make it to the surface.
Yeah.
But it would be crazy if we had the technology
Brontosaurus, it might not break up. That might hit the ground.
I think the only way that would work is
dinosaur.
if just say the asteroid hit and it projected some dinosaur out. I feel like that dinosaur would have been almost melted into a rock somehow. You know what I mean? It was just pressurized so much that this dinosaur skeleton's inside this rock.
Yeah.
And then it got covered by ice, and then that crash landed on Mars. Like that might happen, where you would still have it. The Voyager. Imagine that one day, the rover's just is that a brontosaurus? What is it and then everyone's like, there was dinosaurs on Mars, and me and you were like, dude, no, you got to go to our podcast.
We
dude.
already figured
it out.
Bro.
It's not.
Come on,
there weren't dinosaurs on Mars. Come on, are you an idiot? We figured it out, dude. What are you breaking barriers in this podcast? People don't.
I mean, we just discovered how dinosaurs got to Mars. So
we figured out how they got to space first.
We just logically deducted every step of the way.
Yep, you're welcome, everybody. No one's ever gonna hear this, but yes, we did. Oh God.
Ghosts, dinosaurs,
space,
Kung Fu.
Have you ever seen Ip Man? That's a great martial arts movie.
Ip Man, no.
IPMAN, Ip Man. It's about the guy who trained Bruce Lee.
Oh.
Bruce Lee's not in it, but it's about him.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to talk about go watch that first movie, man. It's like I don't know much obviously about Chinese and Japanese history, but they were at war at some point, and I think Japan was actually messing up China a little more than China was messing up Japan. And it was like this guy had a bunch of money and everything was cool. And then like the beginning of the movie is fun too because like a bunch of people just have a bunch of different dojos and then they're just fighting each other to see who's the best. And then like war and stuff hits, so he's like poor and he's got no money. So he goes to this one place and you get like a bag of rice if you fight a dude. And one of his buddies is in there, and he fought, and he didn't win, but he went to pick up the rice anyway because he's like, well, I should get something out of it, and he got shot. And then everyone was like, ugh. So Ip Man was just so disgusted. He walked into the ring. He's like, I want 10 people. And they're like, 10 people, dude. Nobody, you're going to fight 10 people? And the general was like, fuck it, give him 10 people. And he just destroys these 10. But it's like cool. It's not like Crouching Tiger. I don't like the flying around Crouching Tiger stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't like
what is flying around Crouching Tiger?
You know, like you ever seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? They literally like fly around like they got wires on them or something. Like super kicks and like fly through the air, or like they're up in the air, jumping around, fighting like that. Like
yeah, that's
like, no
stupid.
like less gravity. But yeah, I don't like that stuff. It was just him just snapping people's arms and legs. It's pretty good. The first one's really good. They did a second one. Mike Tyson's in one. I think they did a third one and Mike Tyson was in it.
Really?
Which is funny to see like Mike Tyson using just boxing against a guy who knows how to, use martial arts or whatever.
Right.
But they just made him so strong. Like Mike Tyson would like throw a punch and miss, but like punch a wooden beam in half instead of hitting the guy. What are you like, dude? All right, man. Okay, I don't.
That's hilarious.
And then he would like pick the splinters off his knuckles.
Really?
Yeah, that didn't hurt me at all. Like,
that's a good touch.
dude, I think you would break your fucking hand hitting a wooden beam like that. Mike Tyson.
Yeah, dude. He recently fought, right?
Yeah, he fought Roy Jones Jr.
That was a tie.
They said before it was an exhibition game that they weren't going to say if there was a winner or loser.
Oh.
They came into it agreeing that. Mike Tyson whooped his ass, though.
Really?
Yeah. Roy Jones is more of like a quick in and like he'll hit you, get out of the way. He's going to move around.
Is that where we've come to as a society today, where there's no winner and no losers?
Mike Tyson landed like 150 blows. This guy lands like 50 or something. You're like, no, draw. Draw? This guy's ribs are broken.
The other guy's feelings.
Like, no.
We can't hurt his feelings.
What's going to happen when he gets older and he feels about rejection? Like, well, welcome to the fucking world. What do you...
You both get participation awards.
I think if they did that when I was a kid, my dad would take my participation trophy away and be like, you didn't win this. This is nothing.
This has
like,
not been earned. Yeah.
You participated. What? What?
You stood there.
Yeah.
And you look stupid. Here's a trophy.
It's that kid who trained all year and he won. And I'm out there picking sunflowers or whatever, picking dandelions out of there. No, we both get something. Like, no, wait, but that kid cared and I don't give a fuck. Why do I get something?
That kid trained his ass off.
Yeah.
10 hours a day, fucking doing spinning back kicks.
Yeah.
And he won because he worked harder.
And then but see, Nick will be sad. So you can't have him be that young and know what it's like to feel rejection. Like, well, but then you...
But that's character building.
It's just so funny that they do that, though, with the, no, you can't hurt anyone's feelings, all that. But they tell them the biggest lies ever about Santa and Easter. But, they're like, no, everything, we can't do that until we just crush their entire realities of all that stuff they believed in just didn't fucking exist. That's fine. That's all right. But don't tell them they lost.
And those people are called hypocrites.
Yep.
That is what that word means, those people.
Yep. Not hippopotamuses. All right?
No.
Hypocrites.
They're hippopotacrits.
Hippopotacrits. Those are the worst.
Those are the
worst.
Ugh.
Just judgmental hippos. Just the worst. Oh, God.
Fucking hell.
I know we said at the beginning, but I'm upset that podcast didn't get uploaded for everyone listening. We had a good podcast for you. That was a funny one.
That was really funny.
It was a good end of the year. We were just summing up the whole year and talking about everything. That was...
Yeah, we got a great thumbnail. It was a
great thumbnail. Had everything we were talking about in it, too. I saw that. I saw the little subtle things in there.
Yeah, that's what we're going to start doing. Yep. By the way, is every podcast, I'm going to make the thumbnail after, and then it'll just be like little nods to everything we talked about on the podcast. So
I saw there was like a little crow in one and all that. And I'm like, dude, we were talking about that. And like I saw like the pigs and stuff. I'm like, dude, we were talking about all this shit. And fuck, nobody gets to hear it.
It'll be coming soon to a YouTube channel.
To whatever stream. I would say actually it's just YouTube. We haven't gone out yet. We're waiting. All right, like we said, after the 10th one, Because we're going to start doing social media and all that shit.
Technically, this one is 9. So,
Yep.
Close.
Yep. The next one, after the next one, we'll start.
Yeah.
And we'll shout out. You guys got to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Grindr. I mean, wait, no, not Grindr.
OnlyFans.
yeah, follow us.
OnlyFans for all.
It's just me and
your
Tyler
only
cooking.
bacon needs.
That's it. We're just cooking and eating bacon all day.
Yep. It's just like really seductive pictures
Just
of bacon.
seductive. We're not even cooking the bacon.
It's like you don't even know how you make a picture of bacon seductive, but we somehow
We somehow did it.
We somehow end up making it.
Just wrapped ourselves in bacon. Spit roast. I got an apple in my mouth. You're just roasting me over a fire. OnlyFans.
Dude, I've never understood OnlyFans. Like, I've never understood it. I don't know why, as a guy, you would give money to a girl or other person on the internet that you don't know and never will know, and they'll probably never know you.
No.
But you're like, I'm going to give
here's money,
my paycheck to you.
I will say the only reason I would be to OnlyFans is if it was some chick I knew that I just always wanted to see naked. Some girl I went to high school with or somebody like that, you know, you'd be like, oh shit, she's got an OnlyFans? All right, I'll give you some. But like, you know what I mean? Like anyone famous, I don't give a fuck about anything. It's the internet. I'll get that shit for free.
Yeah.
It's
like, Jesus.
You want me to pay to see naked girls? What year is this? I don't even need to pay anything. I'll close my eyes. Reach into the memory banks. Ooh, look at how many of them there are. Look, there's 1,000 of them, and I'm the king. This is.
And I'm the king.
And it's me. They're all feeding me bacon.
All right, that's probably a good spot to end it today.
I'm just hoping this one gets uploaded, everybody.
All right, we're crossing our fingers. So,
and don't forget, like, subscribe, comment.
Yeah, tell us to go fuck ourselves.
Tell us to go fuck ourselves. We need one.
Yeah, just one comment.
I just want one person to say go fuck yourselves, because then that's when I'll know you listened all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I actually want them to go fuck themselves after they just made me listen to that whole podcast.
I actually feel like
you should go fuck yourself after making me sit there.
All right, those guys. Y'all take it easy.
Peace.